After the 10 o'clock news, Teresa George from SVSU Career Center will be with us. Talk about an upcoming special job fair. She'll have some guests with her. At 11 o'clock, we will learn about Great Lakes Pace from Jason Lucina. We'll also hear from Terry Henney, who was out and about at Big Geek Nursery today. But for this hour, we're going to talk about coins and bullion. And we're going to do that with a returning visitor. We say good morning to Tim Teeples from Euclid Avenue Coin.
Good morning, Art. Thanks for having me in today.
Good to see you, Tim. I have a question that I just do not understand, and it's because I'm not in the business, obviously. How, when someone brings to you, let's say, a bunch of gold, and they want you to buy it, and you price it, how in the world do you price ahead when the market is such a roller coaster? It's a guessing
I'd like to
game,
say it's a
isn't it?
science, but it's not a science. We have to just hope we're more right more often than we're wrong. There's been times where we've lost money.
Because you give them the price and then it goes down.
Sure. Yeah. Most of your listeners that are involved with coins and bullion will remember recently silver got as high as $120 an ounce. Today it's trading at 81. We bought a lot of silver in the 115 to 120 range. We try to mitigate our loss and sell it quickly. Sometimes we can wholesale it off in large quantities if we need to. And unfortunately, sometimes we take a loss.
When you buy bulk, do you buy like used jewelry and stuff like that?
We don't.
Don't.
We have
You're
an
not in
affiliation
that.
with a jeweler that will purchase that.
Okay,
Yeah.
because
we do
mine
bullion and
is-
coins.
My understanding was that if you sold like jewelry and stuff, they had to hold it for 2 weeks before they could do anything with
9
it.
days. Yeah.
Oh, it's 9 days. Yep.
Yeah. And you have to, you report it. You report it to the police
I knew
department
that,
of the
yeah.
seller, the police department of the purchaser. You have to hold it. Market volatility can have a big effect. That's why when you go to those places that we buy gold, you wonder why if gold's $100 an ounce, why are you being offered, or silver's $100 an ounce, why are you being offered 60? Because there's a lot of risk.
A lot of risk, yeah. And of course, like in the gold world, if you're selling, it depends if it's 24, 18, so
Right.
forth, so on. But that's why you stay out of it.
Well, we can only do so many things. We can't
Yeah.
be all things to all people. We try to focus mostly just on the coins and bullion, and we're not perfect. I mean, it's very complicated, very risky proposition.
You're always guessing, aren't you? I mean, you're always, you're buying bullion, you have to guess what it's going to be worth.
Well, yeah, you're absolutely right. The 52-week range on silver has gone from $28 an ounce up to $117 and around $80 today. So you have to make an educated guess.
Well, and gold, I can remember when gold was running 12, 1,400, and now it's what, 47, 32, 10 at the moment.
Yeah. In January of 2000, you could purchase an American Gold Eagle for around $275.
And now?
Today we would buy those for $47.25. We would pay spot for those because that's a premium coin.
Wow.
Yep. And then most other gold, we're in the 1% to 2% under spot range. I mean, we have to leave some room for a margin.
Obviously.
We have to make a profit, otherwise we're
Yeah.
not in business. And we have to hope that we guess the right way.
So, let me, how do I phrase this? Oh, well. I had a thought in my mind and it was gone. So, I know. All right. I was going to ask your opinion on something, and this is, folks, understand, when I ask for an opinion, you're getting an opinion. Don't go to bed with it at night and say it's solid. It's an opinion. Gold has gone up, so it's been hovering in that $45,000 to $5,000 range. Is there room to grow?
I think so.
No
Gold
kidding.
within the last 3 months hit a high of 54.77, but it was a brief overnight. See, the gold market is affected year round and 24 hours around the clock. The foreign markets have a lot of impact. What we often see on Friday, like today, if we close up, there generally be some profit taking Monday. Now you can watch the market starting at about 1 a.m. on Sunday night. But you can't really make purchases unless you're doing online with futures and, maybe purchasing some paper shares and so on. There's no coin shops open at midnight. So you have to kind of judge that. So you decide, is today the day I'm going to buy or the day that I'm going to sell? We've had 3 up days in a row. Pretty uncommon, but we've also, if you're in the oil market, you'll notice that oil's down to about $91 a barrel, and it was well over 100. So it seems to be, even though they're both commodities, when oil goes down and the dollar goes down, the metals go up because they're kind of a hedge against inflation. They're a safe haven. Although silver, I think, is much more speculative than gold, gold tends to be more a hedge against inflation.
So someone wanting to get into gold, never had any, never thought about it, all of a sudden they want to do it. They walk into your store and they want to buy bullion.
Yeah.
First, how does it come? And secondly, can you keep it at home?
You can. No, the way I understand it, and this is only from my own personal experience, most insurance companies will not insure under your homeowner's policy precious metals.
I'll bet.
And a lot of them won't even offer you a rider. So you have to have really good security. And one of the biggest ways you can be secure is don't tell anyone.
Well, obviously.
I mean, that's
first and foremost.
The biggest fault people have is the pride of ownership makes you want somebody to know what you have. I mean, we're human beings. We want recognition for a good decision. We don't want recognition for bad decisions. So if you have 5 ounces of gold, keep it to yourself. If you have 1 ounce of gold, keep it to yourself. We hear stories weekly. Oh, I used to have a coin collection. My dad had a coin collection. My uncle had a coin collection, and miraculously someone broke in and stole it. It's missing.
Guess what?
But yeah, it's you can buy gold from 1 ounce. Actually, we've had as big as 16-ounce gold bars, 500 grams, half a kilogram.
We see, if you go to YouTube and you look at gold vaults and things like that, and you see these bars. What are they? They're big.
Yeah, you can get up to 100-ounce bars in silver. You can get a kilo bar of gold. There's some
comes in different sizes,
incredibly large things available. So you got to remember, though, a 1,000-ounce silver bar, that's 83 pounds. I always tell people, think of it this way: with gold, you could literally get on a plane with $200,000 worth of gold on your person. Not that you would do that, but you could do that. An equal amount of silver is going to be a large-sized person. You're basically carrying a football player, because it would be poundage. 3,000 ounces of silver is 250 pounds. $200,000 worth of gold could probably go in your front and back pockets. At the prices it's now, 50 ounces.
At the price
basically.
of gold, yeah. At the price
40
of gold.
to 50 ounces. A lot of people come in and they buy fractional gold, 10th ounce, quarter ounce, half ounce. You've got to remember, though, like anything, as the size of the gold goes down, the premium or the surcharge to purchase that item goes high. So right now, if you came into the store, we would probably be in the $48 to $48.50 range to buy a 1 ounce gold bar. A standard bullion piece, maybe a little bit more, maybe 1% more for an American Gold Eagle or American Gold Buffalo. If you're buying a 10th ounce, you're going to pay around $525 to $540, and that depends on the seller. I mean, some people can be higher or lower than that. So you can see there's quite a big premium. If you were going to buy an ounce, you wouldn't buy an ounce in tenths unless you had a purpose. Were you giving them as gifts or, that type of thing?
So I got to move over to the gold coins for a minute, because typically with coins, yeah, you're paying for the gold. An ounce of gold is an ounce of gold. But there's also a collectability factor in the coin itself.
There is.
Does that alter that price? It must.
It can, but in bullion pieces, like an American Gold Eagle is essentially just a bullion piece. Part of what you're paying for is the American cost of labor. If we were in Canada, now Canada, in my mind, I would consider that to be more of a socialized country. The wages are probably less, but the benefits of living there are better than ours are, say health care and those other
you're
things.
Paying for it with taxes.
So maybe we're making a double equivalent in wages, so that has to be reflected somewhere. So we would sell a gold bar, a maple leaf, a Philharmonic from Austria, a Britannia from the UK, all in the same price range. In an American Gold Eagle, American Buffalo, it's going to be about $50 more.
So basically, gold is gold.
Right. There's really no numismatics in the American gold bullion. There is in pre-33 gold, the old gold coins that were 90%. But in American Gold Eagle, there's really not anything significant. The first 5 years, they did put Roman numerals on the U.S. gold coins from 86 to 91. Some people like those because they're different. There's really, truly no difference.
Not much premium.
Now, if you close your eyes and you're holding a gold Krugerrand and you're holding a gold American Eagle, there's a difference in spread of about $70 in the price. But if you flipped them back and forth and you had a guess, there's no real different value in the gold itself.
Interesting. All right, we're talking to Tim Teeples. If you have any questions about buying bullion, collecting it, or coin collecting, give us a call, 989-752-6111. And remember, Tim is sitting here in the studio. If you have some coins, he can't look at them. He's going to ask you some general questions and give you some general information, none of which is designed to be taken as rote. If you have something that you're interested in selling, you need to take it in to Tim and have it looked at. All right, we're going to take a break, and we will be back.
My name is Sophia. I'm an
All right, we're back with you. We're chatting with Tim Teeples from Euclid Avenue Coin. And we have a caller waiting for us. This is Lou in Bay City. Lou, you're on with Tim. Good morning.
Good morning, Art. Got in on this late, but I have a question. If you have a collection that you want to sell, how much is a discount usually involved with, like, you're selling silver eagles or gold coins?
Well, on those... Oh, go ahead, Art.
Just one quick, what kind of a collection are we talking about? Numismatic, that is coins that have collector value, or gold and silver?
No, yeah. Well, if you hold things long enough, they've got a collector value to them. But let's say U.S. Silver dollars,
Okay.
BUs of that thing.
Yeah, if they're ungraded, if they're just like in tubes, we usually try to pay within $1 of spot for the American Gold or the American Silver Eagles. Gold Eagles, we try to pay about 99%. Of course, condition matters. That's important. But at the end of the day, it's really a piece of bullion. If a Silver Eagle's toned from sulfur over time, but it's not damaged, we can still be, right in the spot price. Just give you some general ranges, like a Maple Leaf. They're pretty popular, so we probably pay $1 under spot for those and other sovereign coins. And then general bullion, right now I'd be offering about $2 under spot. And then people always want to know what our spread is. I mean, it's the most transparent business ever. Everybody knows your business.
Everybody price of the market, right?
Yeah. We're usually going to be in the $1 to $2 over spot range. And people say, how can you stay in business? Well, we try to sell a lot of merchandise. We try to move a lot of merchandise. We love when people bring in collections. It's a little tough because, in this market, we're limited staff. We do keep staff up. Generally, we have 2 people there, but not everyone has the ability to make an analysis of the things we have. Some of our employees are more clerical, and I don't know everything. I'll be the first one to tell you. Sometimes I have to look it up. I mean, you got to.
But you know how to research it.
Yeah,
That's
we can get you some information. So, Google can be your friend, and it can also be your enemy. Almost daily, if not weekly for sure, we get calls about U.S. state quarters. Probably one of the coins that people ask mostly about, and we just really don't do much with errors because a lot of errors are post-mint damage. A lot of them might actually have an anomaly, but they're not really valuable. But if you brought things into us, and if it was a collection of 100 items or less, usually we can do that without even having a call ahead. I don't mind meeting people before or after hours as long as you make arrangements. What's tough for us, if somebody has a collection and it's a box of pennies, we're just not going to search those. I mean, we'll give you the good dates. We'll encourage you to look at those on your dining table, and we'll purchase them accordingly. But that's just not cost effective for us to do that type of thing. We want to help you the best we can, but we also have to run our business efficiently.
One more quick question. Do you sell safety boxes to put coins in?
We don't, and probably mostly because the call for those in our store, I don't think we could inventory enough of that merchandise to make it cost effective to our customers. One of the best selections of those things I've seen in the area at great prices is Cabela's, and I encourage people to go to Cabela's right down the street from us. Although I'm not endorsing them, it's just a business I know of. There's Hugo's Lock Service. They have a tremendous number of safes.
A lot of that is designed for guns.
Yep.
Gun safes.
Yep.
They work well.
those are nice, but they're portable. That's the problem. Unless you're going to be taking and fastening it down. The
Usually
biggest thing
comes
is
with a way to do that.
keep it quiet. Don't tell anybody what you're doing. I mean, I'm not trying to sound shady or make people think that this is, trying to be like funny about it, but don't share too much information with people. Talk to your local coin person about it. Talk to your best friend, but don't talk too openly about what you have.
Okay. Thank you so much.
All right,
Appreciate it.
Lou, thanks for calling. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Bye-bye. Any questions? 989-752-6111. We touched on it briefly, but let's say someone is buying bullion to keep it as their hedge. What's the way to store it? What's the best way, and what kind of safe or whatever do you need?
Keep it dry.
Keep it dry.
We, as a general rule, put everything that we sell in a capsule. They're known in the industry as an airtight. People want to touch their merchandise. They want to touch it. They have pride of ownership.
Which is not good.
No, because hand oil, salt, perspiration, sulfur naturally occurring in the air causes toning on precious metals. Now, oddly enough, gold really will not corrode much. Silver, though, you see all kinds of toning. Now, there are people that collect toners or coins that have this unique toning, but toning can be done with a torch. It can be done just from putting a coin in a dish with a mashed up hard-boiled egg. The sulfur that's generally in the yolk can cause some toning. Personally, I like blast white coins. Those are my favorite. I want to see the coin in its original state as much as possible. Although we do have a handful of toned coins in the store, there are a group of customers that really like those. Try to keep your coins free of any contact. We have little black cloth gloves available to customers free of charge if they'd like to take a couple, because when you're a new collector or even an old collector, you want to see what you have. You'd like to touch your stuff. Yeah.
Let's talk for a minute, get away from bullion just for a minute. I want to talk about grading. In valuable coins, it's important, isn't it?
Right.
And the grading services, there's several out there.
Right.
Is there one that leads the list, so to speak?
Well, it depends on what you're sending in. So if you're sending in currency, PCGS is great for currency.
You're talking about folding currency.
The company, paper money, U.S. money, foreign money. NGC is really good. They're the two best, the two top. Two best in my opinion. Somebody else might have a different opinion, but there's also discount companies out there, like a company called ANAX, American Numismatic Association or something like that. They're more of a bargain grader. So usually if I get an ANAX coin in, I would generally price that at a grade or two less than it's actually graded, because they're doing high production. And maybe the coin actually is a 63, but the fact that it's in that holder makes it less marketable than a PCGS or an NGC holder. So I mentioned NGC. NGC is a great company for ancient coins. They actually have a guide that does ancient coins.
Really?
If you ever watch Pawn Stars,
yeah,
the ancient coin grader from NGC has been on Pawn Stars before. That show with Rick Harrison, I think his name is. So you brought a coin. This happens to be a Canadian silver dollar, and this is in an NGC holder, and on the back it says PL65. Yep.
What's the range? I mean, what's the highest?
From 0 to 70. It's called the Sheldon scale.
From 0 to 70.
Yep. So a 70 is considered perfect. You'll see that in a coin like a bullion coin. To my knowledge, there are no existing Morgan silver dollars or Peace silver dollars ever graded in a 70. I've seen a few 68s in my life. I've never seen a 69. If you had a Morgan silver dollar 1893S, they only made $100,000, and you had that in a 64, the coin's probably worth $180,000. But if you had an 1880S in 64, it's worth about $100. They made roughly 12 million of those. And for whatever reason, 80, 81, and 82, San Francisco Mint were extremely well-struck coins.
Is it true, from what I used to believe, that the CC mints were the valuable ones, Carson City, because they made fewer coins?
Yep. I believe it was the Comstock lode when it was discovered. I think that's what it was called in Nevada. They only minted Carson City Morgan dollars from 1878 until 1893, and there were 3 years they didn't mint them at all, 86, 87, and 88. In 89, they only made $309,000, so that's really the important Carson City is at 89. I have one that I would say is in an AU condition. It's worth about $7,000.
What's AU?
About uncirculated.
About uncirculated.
Yep.
Okay.
So it could have some
So it's been handled.
minor wear. You could have lost some of the mint luster. BU, which is mint state 60 or higher, is brilliant uncirculated. There was a time before the Sheldon scale was around, there was really only 5 grades. There was good, very good, extra fine, and BU.
Yeah.
AU and BU. So there's about 5 grades. Now there's
So, I
70.
mean, if I put, as a novice, 2 coins side by side, and one is graded 67 and one is graded 69, am I going to see the difference? Or is it minuscule what's
You
causing?
can. And it depends on the coin itself. So like a Morgan dollar, one of the high points on the coin is the cheek.
Yeah.
You'll see bag marks. They call them, bag marks are little notches. When those coins were produced 150 years ago, 120 years ago, they were just basically ran through the
Thrown in a
machine,
bag.
coal shoveled into bags of 1,000, and then shipped off to the banks.
All right, I got to take a break, and we'll come back talking to Tim Teeples from Euclid Avenue Coin. If you have any questions about coin collecting or bullion, give us a call. We'd be happy to chat with you. Take a moment to talk about potholes because, we live in Michigan. Our roads tend to go through the winters and summers and heave and what have you, and the next thing you know, you got a pothole. And if you hit too many of those, you're going to affect the alignment of your car. Our friends at Quick Lane Freeland realize that, and they are offering you a free complimentary alignment check to make sure your car alignment is proper. And if you wonder why that's necessary, I've asked John from Quick Lane Freeland to explain it.
If your vehicle's wheels are aligned correctly, it will not pull to the left or to the right when driving. It also prevents improper tread wear, so your tires last longer. A wheel alignment should be checked often because normal steering wear and tear can cause your alignment to go out in addition to potholes and railroad crossings. A correct alignment also reduces rolling resistance on your tires for better fuel mileage.
Thanks, John. And remember, too, if you need tires, Quick Lane Freeland will sell you tires at just $5 over cost. Stop in today, Quick Lane Freeland on the McDonald Ford property. It's all part of the same company. McDonald Ford and Quick Lane Freeland are 2 names that stand ready to help you with all your automotive needs in 2026.
Step inside your dream home at
Back with you here on WSGW. In studio with me is Tim Teeples from Euclid Avenue Coin. And we have, looks like Vern in Midland. Vern, good morning.
Good morning, Art. Good morning, Tim.
Hi, good morning.
So, my mother-in-law is having a living estate sale. Her husband passed a few years ago. And he had a collection of 1-cent coins from his childhood. Now, they range from the late 30s all the way up into the 60s. As I understand it, the pre-war World War II and the early World War II coins have value. The others,
to some degree,
unless they have what's that?
To some degree. The only important one in the range you're describing, there's actually 2. The 31S, minted in San Francisco, average circulated conditions worth $40 to $50, and the 55 double die, which is extremely rare, is worth $1,000 or more.
Is
Okay.
Is the
I mean,
1909
I knew they-
VDBS still the king of the hill?
Yeah, that's the
Yeah,
that's the big one.
I knew they weren't. They weren't extremely valuable, but I just knew that some of them had value of 50 cents up to $3.50 just from doing a cursory search. He's got them all rolled, and he's got them all labeled by the year range. It's pretty incredible, actually.
Yeah. So if you brought in a Ziploc bag, and it was wheat pennies, not that they're not important to us, but we would buy those by weight. Those pennies weighed 3.1 grams when they were brand new. So we'll give you the benefit of the doubt and think there's minimal wear and weigh them. Divide the total gram count by 3.1. And today I'd pay you about 4 cents a piece for them. And then the next customer that walked in the door, I'd be happy to sell them to them for 5 cents each. I can give you the important dates. There's about 15 good dates from 1909 to 59 when they stopped making 58 when they stopped making the wheat cents. But we just it's not cost effective to search them, because I would say this in court, that if you brought me a bag of pennies, I would say that on average 99.999% of those bags of pennies have been searched by somebody. So we don't want to mislead anybody. We're selling them in bulk. We're buying them in bulk. If you have a 31S or a 55 double die, I'd be happy to look at it and give you an assessment on it. But for the most part, the wheat pennies have been searched, and there's about 10 good dates, unfortunately.
All right.
I understand that.
Good.
Well, the 44s have they have a die error where the L in Liberty is right up against the crown edge.
Mm-hmm.
Is that anything?
Not to us. In 1943, they made the famous steel penny, which is actually they took away 10% of the copper. The story is it was for ammunition for World War II. I don't know if that's true or not. And they coated it with zinc to differentiate. They made 1,462,000,000 of those. So they're uncommon in the public because they stand out so much. But if you want to come in and buy some, I have some. In 44, they made just over 2 billion pennies.
Wow. All right.
All right. Well,
Thanks.
Thank you very much, Tim.
Thanks, Vern.
You're welcome.
Good. Hang on.
Take care.
All righty. Bye-bye now. All right. Russell out in Port Charlotte, Florida. Hold on, and we'll talk to you in just a couple of minutes.
Gotta go.
All right. We're back with you in studio. Tim Teeples from Euclid Avenue Coin in Bay City. And Russell is with us from Port Charlotte, Florida. Russell, good morning. Are you there now?
Yes.
Welcome.
Yeah. Good morning to you.
Good morning.
Yeah, it's 80 right now.
Say that again?
Pardon? 80 degrees. It's hot.
He said it's 80 degrees there.
Oh, yeah. All right, we're jealous.
Okay.
We're jealous.
Right. My question is, back in the 20s, President Roosevelt confiscated all the gold.
That was the Pittman Act, yep.
All right. Now, say I don't have it, but say somebody had 20,000 in gold. When they called it in, what did they get?
The government valued the gold at $20 an ounce during the Pittman Act. So they would graciously give you a $20 paper note, and then within a couple of years after them acquiring the gold, whether it was right or not, they revalued the gold once they had it in their coffers at $35 an ounce.
Was it 35 or 32?
I believe it was 35.
And that was the upper limit. That's the only thing you could sell gold for, right?
Right.
That's what it was worth.
Yep. There was a lot of government controls then on that type of thing. There still is to some degree. Yeah. They during that period, it's estimated. We spoke earlier about Morgan dollars that the government accumulated and melted down about 272 million. Now I don't know how they got that number, but that's the number that's published. And it really was to the detriment of the American public.
I know if you want to read a good book, it's called The Sins of the Father. Joe Kennedy.
Okay.
What a crook. Wow. I mean, he was in stock and all.
Well, I'm going to go there now, but yeah, that's for another day. But that's
it's in the same time period.
You look at the history of the country, the government's done a lot of things that we can question. Let's put it that way. Leave it there.
Okay, well, thank you.
Thanks for calling. Take care, Russell.
Yep.
Bye-bye.
All right, bye.
That it is interesting. Obviously, the government issues the money. The Federal Reserve was kind of put in place to separate the politics from the dollar and what it's worth. But over the history of the country, the government's had a lot of say in money, hasn't it?
Yeah.
And why did the Pittman Act pull back all the gold? What was the reason for it?
Well, I don't know a lot of the history about the Pittman Act. I know more about like when Nixon took us off the gold standard.
Yeah.
I'm not trying to divert your question.
No,
I guess I would have to do some research on that. I just know some basic things about the Pittman Act. Like, apparently, the president of France and also the president of Germany tried to get the United States to verify that we had the gold that we were putting all this money in the early 70s. And that's when we couldn't produce the amount of gold for the amount of dollars that were being produced. And everybody kind of remembers. I'm old enough to remember, but not really affected by the fact that you waited in line for half a day to get some gas, back in the 70s.
Yep, 73 and thereabouts.
And when they called us out wanting to make sure we had the gold. They wanted their gold back. Then Nixon, at some point in the early 70s, took us off the gold standard.
Do we know how much gold we have in Fort Knox, the country's reserve?
It's estimated that our reserve is 8,133 metric tons. A metric ton is a little over 32,000 ounces. But there's actually, Fort Knox is the famous one. That's the one that's everybody's mind. But there's actually 5 of those type situations around. There's West Point and so on. What probably is the situation, although I don't know, I have no reason to really know this, but what I've done for research is that most of that gold is probably coin gold, because when it was confiscated, for lack of a better term, or turned in, it was coinage. It wasn't, people didn't have gold bars. They had pre-33 gold coins that were 90% pure.
But at now $47.48 an ounce, does it matter whether it was coin gold or bullion gold in the price?
It does, yeah. So like in my shop, I have a 1895 $20 gold piece, Mint State 61. It's only 0.9675 of an ounce of gold. So the gold value is, let's say, roughly $44.50. The coin itself is $5,000 because you're paying for the fact that it's so old and has that numismatic value. If it was really beat up or someone had drilled a hole in it, had to be melted down, then it would be wholesaled off based on the gold price. But because it's not, it has that numismatic value.
And the other thing, too, now, with Fort Knox and the other depositories, and they used to have gold at $32 to $35 an ounce. Now it's $4,748.
Mm-hmm.
In effect, the underlying wealth of the country has gone up, hasn't it?
Well, the wealth is wealth as well as the debt. So I mean,
the debt's gone up
still
too.
Relative,
but do we cover the debt with that wealth? Is the question. I don't know the answer to that.
I don't either, because we don't really know if it's there. It's there on paper, but it's like our banking system. They have all these assets that are insured and guaranteed, but they don't really have the assets to back that in a solid form. It's all credit. So, full faith and credit of the U.S. government. So
that's like the certificate dollar bill. I mean, it's a dollar bill, but what's behind it? So
right. Yeah. So the silver certificate,
credit to the government. Yeah.
Those were made up until 1963, and you could have. I'm sorry, they made them up to 57. I believe it was 63. You could have taken those to the bank and traded them for a silver dollar.
Yeah.
Silver dollars today are worth 48 to 50 and possibly more based on condition, where a silver certificate, I'll sell them all day long for $2. Yeah. So you can see paper versus metal. There's a big difference.
Well, Tim, it's always fun. Tell everybody where you're located.
We're located at 602 North Euclid. We're between North Midland Road and North Union. We're across from the Salvation Army Family Store. Our current hours are 11 to 5 Monday through Friday, and Saturday 11 to 4. We're happy to take your phone calls. We'll do our very best. Sometimes we cannot give you the answer that you want, but we're going to be as fair with you and as honest with you as possible.
And you also have a giveaway every month, don't you?
We do, yeah. You're more than welcome to stop in. We do a customer appreciation each month. During the normal months, January through November, if you stop in, put your name and phone number on a slip. We do a blind drawing for $100 store credit for first, $75 for second, $50 for third. And then from November 1st to December 15th, quite a ways off, we do 3 $250 giveaways, for the Christmas holiday. Yeah.
Santa Claus.
Yeah. And that's for store credit. We don't give you cash. We just let you purchase merchandise with the credit.
Tim, thanks for coming in today, as always.
Thanks,
I learn
Art.
something every time. We'll do it again.
That's nice to be able to talk to your customers, your listeners.
Tim Taples, Euclid Avenue Coin. And we will take a break and then be back to close out and tell you what's ahead next hour.
Spring is here, and it's time to see it.
Coming up next hour, we're going to be talking to folks from Saginaw Valley State University about a career fair coming up. That follows the news from CBS, the local report with Michael Percha. I'm Art Lewis, and we'll be back.
Broadcasting from the